The live tonight is a little bit of a funny one, really, because it's something where I'm not expecting to get a lot of views. I'm not expecting to get what she put. I'm on the gin, hair looks great. Thanks to you, darling. Yeah, Alice is just a genius. She's done mine and Reagan's hair for Halloween, and I can't just let Reagan have hers done without mine. And I'm not on the gin yet because I'm working. I will be back. I'll be on the gin soon. So right, yeah. Tonight's discussion is about female pattern baldness. It is something where I'm not expected to get a lot of comments about. The reason being, the reason being it is it's quite a sensitive subject. Hair loss and thinning in general, men or women, it's not something that we like to talk about. So what I'm actually hoping is that just by doing this live, that either, well, this is what I'm going to ask from you guys, if you can share this live, or if you, I know it'll be quite, you wouldn't want to tag people in because obviously you're kind of like just putting them up there on a pedestal as if they need this. But if you could share this, then that I would be truly grateful. It's so easy to share on the live, top or bottom. You can have the copy link and share it onto your page, or share it just with the share symbol at the bottom. It is made public, so you can do that. It is something where there's a lot of people that do suffer with this. I'm going to go through some statistics. There's a lot of people that do suffer with this, but a lot of people don't really know what to do. Now, if any of you have seen my recent post today, then you will see that I have actually shared a couple of photos of women that have had a treatment done, and also a lady that's done a testimonial about the treatment that I offer, expressing her thoughts about it. Now, this isn't my work, and I did put in the post that it's a guy called Mark Smith from Belfast. He's a fantastic technician that does SMP like I do, and he has obviously treated a lady, and she was more than happy to do a testimonial. So please have a look back at that, because there's no better person to kind of hear feedback from than somebody that's actually had something done. But basically, I just want to give you a little bit of knowledge, really. That's what I'm aiming to do. If you are watching this as well on replay, give me a hashtag replay. If you could share this, I'm going to say again to the couple of people that have just jumped on board now, if you could share this, I don't expect tags in, but if you have got any comments, if you're watching this on behalf of your mum, or your auntie, or any family member that you know that has got any kind of hair loss, or they just moan about their hair being really thin, they're trying to style it and they can't get that that fullness that they used to get 10-20 years ago, then, you know, please mention it to them, send them a message, tell them to jump on board. I don't expect you necessarily to tag it in, but if you share it on your page, then they will get to see this as well. So right, most people, when it comes to hair loss and thinning and balding, they think of the pubes count. Seriously, Damo? No, they don't. I don't treat anything that is under the underwear, okay, when it comes to hair restoration or hair densification. So no, they don't count. There's always one that has to lower the tone. Okay, so back to it. Damo, you can still watch, but no more than comments. Right, okay. So the pubes count. My goodness, there's always one in there. Disappointed. Right, so basically back to reality. When you are when we think of hair loss, when we think of balding, thinning, we always think of men, because naturally that's what we tend to see. We tend to see that, I think that the statistics, what, 66% of men by the age of 35 will start losing or thinning. Obviously, you guys know that I do help a lot of guys that, you know, are in that statistic. So 66% of them can benefit from treatments that I offer. Now, not many people really think of, sorry, mate, no, you're fine, couldn't resist. Tried to put you off, handled it like a pro. I am a pro, you know me by now. These lives are hard without you throwing these pube comments in. Right, so yeah, so we don't tend to think of women, we don't tend to think of hair loss in women or hair thinning or balding, but it is quite a big statistic. When I was researching today, the statistics show now that 40% of women by the age of 50 will be suffering from some kind of female pattern baldness, okay? So that's almost half of people by the age of 50 will be noticing significantly that their hair density has changed, okay? Now, there's two main factors. Obviously, you have the likes of illness or alopecia. That's a whole other kind of conversation. So I don't really want to focus on the that minority that may be diagnosed with alopecia or anyone that's having any treatment. Okay, I'm talking of normal hair loss, normal thinning and balding. Okay, so almost 50%, so 40% of women by the age of 50 will suffer with oh, I got a few more jumping on board as well. Oh, Danielle, another fellow technician. How are you doing? Are you working out Manchester way, I believe? Stacey, Claudia, lovely, nice to see you all on board. So yeah, 40% of women by the age of 50 will be suffering with a form of hair loss. Now, there's two reasons, and I do think them statistics are going to grow for one of the reasons. One is is like what I'm doing right now. So you get a lot of traction hair loss. So what you get is, over the years, women having hair extensions, tight braids, tight ponytails. And by doing that over and over again, it will cause traction. So it will basically cause them hair follicles to weaken because they've been pulled and pulled and pulled. And I do think I got one lady that messaged me today about her hair is thinning due to overuse of hair extensions. Now, hair extensions can be fantastic, but just excess weight on the hair is more weight than we naturally should be having. So it is going to cause a bit of traction. So over time, that may weaken that hair follicle. So you've got that part of people that will suffer with hair loss. But you've also just got the general aging of the lady, which can create different types of hair loss and hair densification. So you may not necessarily get the actual hair loss where you're losing hair, but what you may get is the hair follicles become very, very fine, and they appear a lot finer. So you don't have that thickness there, okay? So overall, your hair will appear that there's less of. Now, where I notice a lot of people will notice with the thinning more is, or see it more, is a lot of darker hair. Contrast between the hair and the skin is obviously bigger, okay? So they tend to find that they can see through their hair a lot more. It's also very, very big in the with Afro-Caribbean ladies and men as well, but I am focused on the female thinning and balding today, where they've continued to be using the braids, what do they call them, the ringbows, what do they call them? The braiding that the women have for the weaves. So they have all these really, really tight plaits, and then they get all the weaves and the hairs threaded and sewn in. So they will suffer with traction hair loss a lot all around the front area. So where they may have the fuzzy hair, they can then see that they haven't got them follicles coming back. So that's very common. Now, there is a lot of people do say to me, well, what can we do in terms of kind of home care? And there is a lot of products on the market. There is so many. If you've just joined and you want to ask me a question, please ask. Like I did say earlier on in the live, I'm not expecting this to be a really talkative and you guys asking me loads of questions, because it is quite a sensitive subject. But I would appreciate, if you were in the hair industry, or if you have any parents, aunties that do moan about the hair thinning, just share this on your Facebook feed. They might not want to openly talk about it, but like I said, 40% of women by the age of 50 will be suffering with it, and they don't really know what to do. And if you have been watching my Facebook page today, you will see a really good testimonial from a client who's actually had this treatment that I offer done with a fabulous technician called Mark Smith in Belfast, and he's given permission to share that because not many ladies like to really give them testimonials, so that's a really good thing for you to watch. And she's a fair Irish lady with blonde hair, so a lot of people think, oh, is this just for the dark haired clients? She's very fair, she's very blonde, and it works amazingly on her. So yeah, fire away any questions if you've got them, but if not, I'm just going to continue to go through my spiel. So yes, many people will suffer with this. Like I said, you've got the normal aging process that can occur. Then you've also got the traction, which is very popular for people, very common for people that have overused hair extensions, overused braids, or also the Black Afro-Caribbean ladies that have a lot of weaves and a lot of sew-ins. They're people that do suffer with this as well. Now, there is products on the market. There is so many, even if you just Google thinning hair, hair loss rejuvenation treatments, products, potions and lotions, there is loads. What is actually proven to work is a very small amount of these. And there is some which, what they do is they tend to bulk up the hair. So the hair follicles that you've currently got, they make them stronger, okay? And I think there is one that I've seen, is it minoxidil or something along them lines, which is FDA approved. And that's a lot of people use that for trying to thicken up their hair. But more than likely, it is quite likely that if that follicle is gone, you need something more than that. A product isn't going to reproduce a follicle, okay? It's very unlikely. If anybody knows of a product, please comment, because I'm sure my, people that are watching this that are suffering might want to know about it. But it's very unlikely that if that follicle is gone, that you're going to be able to reproduce that follicle, okay? You may be able to strengthen follicles by using certain products, but you're going to be using them day and night. You can use them quite a lot. Obviously, you can get quite costly as well, and it's only going to work while you're using it. As soon as you stop using them, you're going to notice that them hairs will start to thin out again, okay? So what, let me just look at my notes. Like I said, I came in late and I prepped very, very quickly. Traction, hair loss, aging, alopecia. Yeah. So basically, what is available, what I help a lot of people with, male and female, but I'm getting more and more females through the door inquiring and for this treatment now, is basically giving the illusion, it's all, everything I do is all about enhancing and giving the illusion of bigger eyes with an eyeliner, an eye lift with a good eyebrow shape, fuller lips with lip contour. And it's the same when it comes to this kind of treatment for the scalp. I'm basically going to give you the illusion of more follicles, more roots, more density, okay? So with that, it's going to give you the confidence. You're going to find that when you look, or when the light catches, you're not going to feel like you can see all the skin in between. So basically what SMP is, it's scalp micropigmentation. And what we are doing is we are creating microdots on the scalp, okay? So we work within the hair. So we would work within them hair follicles. We don't work outside of that hairline. So if you have receded, that's a different kind of treatment we'd have to advise you on. But I'm talking of thinning. So if you have got your hairline here, but yet when you look into it, it's quite see-through, it's quite gappy, you can see the skin, and you feel that it's very thin and very weak, okay? What I can do is, and what these amazing technicians all over the country can offer as well, is we can offer follicles, we can offer artificial follicles, give the little dots on the scalp. They will relax into the skin, the little microdots will soften slightly, but what it will do is it will give the illusion of more hair follicles. And if them dots are placed within that hairline and we don't work outside that hairline, they'll be undetected that they are a flat dot, or, you know, like what is a flat, you know, a form of tattooing. It will be undetected. But when somebody looks at the hairline, you will just see that you have got background color. So that will make the hair look thicker. That will make the hair look denser. Have we got anybody else? Anyone that's got any questions? Anyone at all? If you have, fire away, fire away. So yeah, what you are going to do is create an illusion. Okay, so it's all about creating an illusion. Please watch that video that I shared earlier on from the technician in Belfast. His work is amazing, and what he's done to this woman is, you know, fantastic. Completely changed her life, given her the confidence back. She said she used to hate seeing herself in photos, but now when that light catches, she has just got that background color, so it gives the illusion of fuller hair. And that is what SMP can do for you. Now, it is a treatment which, once you've had it done the first time, you're looking at 5 or 6 years before you have to retreat. This is not something you're going to have to be doing on a daily basis or maintaining every month or every year. You know, you will get a good 5 years out of this if you look after the area, you know, in terms of sun exposure. So you will get a good 5 to 6 years before you need a retreat. So once you've had it done, you're going to get a long time out of it. But what it will do is it will give you that illusion of, you know, more densification, because we're creating false follicles. Basically, we're making the person that looks at your hair look like you have got more dots there, more follicles coming through. That is how we do the SMP. I don't do, and you may, if you do a bit of Googling, a bit of research, you may see people that do hair strokes in the hairline. It sounds fantastic, and in hindsight, it can, when it's first done, look incredible, but it doesn't age very well. It doesn't age well at all, because what happens is you get slight expansion. So you always get slight expansion on hair follicles, on hair lines. So or any kind of pigment. So if you're doing microblading or hair stroke lines through the scalp, what will happen is them really fine hairlines that look amazing when they're first done, they will relax and expand out slightly. If that happens with a microdot, it's okay, because it can look like a slightly wider follicle, not a problem. But if it is done on a full line, then what it will look like is a very blurred hairline, okay? So then it will look artificial. So these, it's not the work that I endorse. It's not the work that I would recommend. I only work with follicle dots, because I've seen that age over the years, and it ages very well. Okay, so that's how I work. And it will give you the density. So there's no need to go down the route of doing hair strokes. And it is, you know, like I said, it is suitable for men and women. But I wanted to do this video to kind of raise awareness about the female pattern baldness. So just to kind of go back, if anybody's just joining in now, 40% of women by the age of 50 will be noticing a significant difference in their hair loss, okay, or their hair thinning. And I would like them ladies to know that there is products on the market that you can try. And you've probably tried them all. You know, you've probably bought a few and then tried it for 6 months and then tried some others, noticed the difference for a few weeks, and then your body gets used to it. There's even, you know, there's people that have, if it's a more severe hair loss like alopecia and things, there's steroid injections, there's light treatments, there's all sorts of things out there. But normally it's temporary. So the moment you stop using them, or the moment you stop using the injections or having the light treatment, that hair loss will then continue to go down the path it was going to go down. So the only way to give you them long-term benefits is by creating an illusion of more hair, okay? And the way to do that is create microdots on the scalp in a form of SMP, which is scalp micropigmentation, which is widely used by a lot of very skilled technicians all over the world to mimic the look of follicles. And what it can do, it can give you a very subtle enhancement and give you that densification. And the color range is massive, okay? Most technicians that use similar products to me, they would use one color which is diluted to many different shades. So we have one color and we mix that with a dilutant, and we can take it right the way back. So we can treat, with my color, I can treat people very, very fair, white hair, ginger, strawberry blonde clients, all the way up to really dark black Afro-Caribbean clients. So whatever hair type or skin type, there is a pigment for you, because we can dilute it right the way down. And with us dealing with a pigment which is a permanent pigment, I always go cautious. Obviously, for the first treatment, I normally do a patch as well. What I would do is I'd do a very small area, mix a colour that I believe would work for you, do a very, very small patch, see you in a few weeks' time to see how that accepts into your skin. And then when we know that colour is right, we then go for the fuller area. Now, in terms of area size, it really does depend. A couple of the photos I've shown earlier, there's a couple of younger clients come and they've got this area, just these two parts here, from obviously traction. These two parts here that need a bit of densification. That obviously would be a lot cheaper than somebody that has noticed the whole top area thinning out. And normally that's what happens. I can't get my angles right because it's when you're on the computer, it's in reverse, so that's my right side, but it's not when I see it. Anyway, so let me get right there. Yeah, so normally it is this section here, so pretty much in between there where the plaits are, that is where you get the balding for women. So if you're looking at a full area here, then obviously it's a lot more work, you know, but you're normally looking at anything from a 1 to 3 hour, 1 to 4 hour maximum appointment. And you'd have maybe one session done, you'd come back 2 weeks and have another session done to fill in the gaps and to densify more. And then you would normally come back about 4 weeks later for little bits of tweaking and a little bit more densification if needed. So yeah, I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. I didn't expect, I've been live for about 25 minutes now. I didn't expect, as I said at the beginning of this, that it was going to be a really chatty live and loads of questions, because it is quite a sensitive subject. Now I can see a lot of the people that are on board are actually good friends of mine as well, which is fantastic. So thank you for joining in. But what I would really appreciate, it doesn't take much to share a post. It doesn't take much at all. I would really appreciate if you would share this, because there are people out there that do suffer with hair loss and they don't know what to do. I've got a couple of hairdressers. I'm not sure whether Alice is watching or she'll be drunk on the gin by now. But if you're a hairdresser, you know, you will see this every day where women are trying to style their hair differently. They're trying to not have that middle parting anymore. They're trying to have, you know, a pony going back, or they're trying to camouflage it in different ways to kind of cover up the fact that they are thinning and they are balding, but they would never actually say, look, I am thinning, what can I do? What do you think is out there for me? So just to share this post would be much grateful on my part, but it'll just give these people that are struggling with hair loss and hair thinning the chance to actually see a video about female pattern baldness, because we don't talk about it. Nobody talks about females or going bald, you know, and thinning. But it's popular. What did I say? 40%, up to 40% of people by the age of 50 will be suffering significantly with hair thinning. Okay, so these people do not know what is out there for them, or do not know that they're also in a big percentage. These people might think that they're the only one, because they look at their friends, they look at their family members similar age, and they style their hair so well. Or they might put fibers, you know, you can buy fibers now to create densification, that they might think, shit, this is just me that's suffering. You know, there's so many, well, there's 40% of you suffering. You know, if you're 50, 40% of you are suffering. So that is in your small circle of friends, you know, that is a lot of you. So please share this. Friends that are watching, please share it. I've got another comment that just popped up then. Oh no, it's gone. Okay, oh no, we've got another couple that have jumped on board. If you've just jumped on, or Emma and Matt, I'm not sure, Matt, how long you've been watching, then I am coming towards the end of my spiel. I am reaching out to get people to share this. Obviously, you know, long run, yes, it will help me. You know, if any of these clients come to me for treatment, yes, it will. But it'll just help women out there to understand that they are not on their own. Other women do suffer with thinning. Other women do suffer with female pattern baldness. And to be fair, I know a couple of ladies that have actually been to the doctors about it, and they've actually gone to the doctors and said, "Oh, I'm thinning. What, you know, what are my options?" And the response is, you know, buy a wig. That's it. You know, there's nothing much to deal with it. You're getting old. How old are you? 60. Okay, yeah, you're getting old. Buy a wig. You know, 60 in this day and age is not old. You know, a lot of the clients that come to see me are starting their eyebrows done by the time they're 75. You know, they just because you're over the age of 60 doesn't mean that you want to stop looking after yourself and making an effort. So please share this to help them ladies. And a lot of people that are watching are similar age to me, a little bit older. You may not be suffering right now. So share it for your mum, you know, share it for your auntie. So does anybody have any questions at all before I sign out for the night? I'm going to wait patiently for a few minutes. I think the only question we've had, or the only comment, I'm on the gin. Hair looks great. Do pubes count? Not answering that one. That's one of my friends trying to catch me off guard, trying to put me off. But I'm a pro. I won't say I'm a pro. I just know how to do a good live now. Any questions? No, 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 no. Okay, so I am going to call it a night with the live. Please, please, please share. If you watch it on replay, give me a hashtag replay. I'm going to share this myself to my personal page. If you share it and just put a comment at the above saying female pattern baldness, give this a watch, I would much appreciate it. I will send you a lovely Christmas card. But no, it's always grateful, you know, small support, the little small lives that you see, and yeah, share it for them women that don't really know much about it. So yeah, I'm going to call it a night. See you guys soon. If you have any suggestions of my next live, please let me know. Damo, I do not want no suggestions from you, because I know what you're like. So anybody else that's watching, give me a suggestion. I will go with it. Yeah, so let me know. Have a good evening, guys. It's Bake Off time. It's the final. Is anybody else watching Bake Off? Let's talk Bake Off instead. 3 people in it. I'm not sure who I want to win. I'm not sure, but it's on record now. Let's have a look. What time are we on? Oh, the winner might be announced. If you know the winner, please do not share it now. I'm going to watch that on replay now. So have a fabulous evening. See you all soon. And thank you so much for joining in and supporting my lives. Bye-bye for now. See you later. Bye-bye.